Hello, this is Purge bringing you guys a bit of an update video. There is a new patch coming out, so if you guys want to check this out, there's the URL at the top of the page is dota2.com/wraithnight, or just go to dota2.com and you can click through it very easily and find the new patch. So just a little bit of an update. I'm just going to go through a couple of things here. There's also some balance patch stuff at the end, and a lot of people have been tweeting at me asking for my opinion on a lot of the heroes and things like that, so I will let you guys know about that as we get down to them. But basically, there's a new game mode coming out. It looks like it's going to be a wave game, and what that means is there's old games in like Warcraft 3 and Starcraft where you'd basically start with heroes and then you would attack neutral creeps that attack you, and then they would get stronger and attack you again, and they would get stronger and attack you again. You like level up and get better skills and all that good stuff. So I'm actually really excited to see how this plays out. Dare I say a lot more than Dire Tide. Dire Tide was okay this year, but it's just okay. So that's coming out. It talks about it over here. You can read about that on your own time. Legion Commander's coming out. It's another Dota 1 hero that hasn't been ported quite yet. She's the one that's been kind of teased at for at least a few months, actually. I originally saw pictures of her when I toured in March, so they've been working on her a very long time. I can talk about her skills a little bit. I have played her once or twice. I don't really know the best item builds or skill builds just yet, but we can talk about her skills and stuff. First skill deals damage and gains bonus movement speed for each enemy unit in a targeted area. So this is a targeted AoE. It'll cast on the ground and you'll do damage to them, and then you get movement speed for a period of time. And it's I believe it's not that high of a damage nuke, but it does make you run a lot faster. Her second skill is called Press the Attack. This is like an ally buff or yourself. You remove debuffs and disables from an ally, and then they grant bonus attack speed and regen. And I believe the regen is something like 40 HP per second for like 4 seconds or something like that with some attack speed. So it's kind of similar to the Abaddon Shield, essentially. Third skill is Moment of Courage. When attacked, immediately counterattack with bonus lifesteal. This is similar to Centaur's Return, except it's a bit better or different, I would say. But basically, no matter on the range of somebody attacking you, there's a percentage chance of her attacking you back, essentially. So this will scale pretty well with damage items, but it also lifesteal, so it's a chance for her to kind of just stay alive and live longer. And her ulti is very interesting. Legion Commander and an enemy hero become locked in a duel. The surviving hero gains a permanent damage increase. So what that does is she is a melee hero, by the way, and a lot of these moves are melee, or at least melee-ish range. But duel, you go into melee range and you cast this on a hero, and it goes through BKB, by the way, and it forces that hero and your hero to attack each other for, I think, like 3 to 5 seconds, something like that. You can cast spells while you duel, but I believe they cannot, if I'm not mistaken. So if you kill them before the duel duration ends, then they die, of course, and you get like a 10 damage increase for the rest of the game, something like that. The surviving hero, so that means if you die during the duel to the opposing hero, they will get the damage increase. So you got to be a little careful, but largely it's used as a big disable. I don't necessarily see this hero as a major carry. I am not sure yet. He hasn't been played enough in pubs or by really good people for me to be sure about this yet, but that's the basics about the skill. The hero's pretty fun. I haven't played her enough to really give her a good run through about how strong I really think she is, but I'm excited. So they're selling some item that comes out with it, some Arcana item. New features, you can recruit friends and gives you a battle bonus. You can spectate games with friends now, which is really cool, even for tournaments that only one of you has a ticket for, so that's pretty sweet. And what is this? More stuff for beginners, so for new players, so that they can get better at learning the game. Ranked matchmaking is going to be coming into the game, so that's going to be pretty sweet. And battle bonuses are based on time played now instead of days. We got Alina Announcer Pack, new chest. I'll be making a new chest video for this. A couple more items over here, and now back down to the actual cool stuff. So minimap can now go on the right side of the screen. I'm almost tempted to do this because I do click on the minimap sometimes and it is frustrating, but it will still happen if it's in the bottom right of my screen. The only difference is that if I'm running back to base as the Radiant, then sometimes you click on it, but I think I'm just going to keep it the way it is. But for those of you guys who are coming from League of Legends, you can now switch it to the right side, or other games, of course. There's other games that do this. Fix a case where shop items would get stuck on the screen after dragging. I didn't realize this was a tango for me last moment I did it. This is actually integrated within the website if you guys are curious, but it's so cool. Valve is the best. Play it a sound when your teammates puts an item in your inventory. Added captions in Korean. Community. This one's a little scary. You now get an abandon if one of your party members abandoned. A lot of people were very confused about this on my Twitter, but let me explain it this way. A party is the people that you choose to play with. A team is the group of 5 that the game matches you with, assuming your party isn't 5 people. So this means that if I queue with Blitz and he is in my party, it's just me and him queuing, and Blitz gets really mad and decides to abandon, then I also get an abandon because he's in my party. The reason that this is being integrated, you guys might be confused why it's being integrated. They're like, why would they need to do this? It's because some people would go into pubs with a 4 or a 5 stack, or even a 3 stack, and they would say, I don't want to play this game anymore, tank the abandon somebody. And somebody would say, okay, I'll tank the abandon. And they would abandon, and then the rest of the team gets out of having to play that game. So abandons don't always work on the first abandon, so it would allow a team of 4 or 5 or whatever to basically take turns abandoning games that they didn't want to play, and they would never actually get into low priority as a result, because they would just take turns abandoning. So it basically forces you to really think about abandoning and whether or not you decide to dick over your allies or not. So unfortunately for me, this is going to pretty much guarantee that at some point I get an abandon. This could be abandons based on things like disconnects or stuff like that, which I'm a little scared about, because if I have a friend that has a bad internet connection and he ends up getting an abandon, then I'm going to get one too. But it's unfortunately gonna, I'm sure there's gonna have to be a lot of fine tuning about this, and there's gonna be a lot of complaining about it. So I'm sure Valve is gonna be very careful and very attentive towards people's concerns with it. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty scary. I only have one abandon right now, by the way. It's on recorded video. I played a disruptor game, and I had to go cast a Navi game, and I had to abandon, and we still won the game. And they won the game within like 4 minutes of me abandoning or something. It was really close. That was the only abandon I've ever had. But if you want to find it, it's a disruptor game. It's probably from like a year and a half ago. It's the only abandon I have. So I'm sure I'm going to get more. Low priority, blah, blah, blah. EXP, blah, blah, blah. Game modes unlocked, blah, blah, blah. All right, gameplay updates. So these are basically the patch changes to Dota 2. Hand of Midas, this is probably pretty small for you guys, so I'm going to make it a lot bigger. That looks vaguely readable on screen. Hand of Midas recipe cost increased from 1400 to 1550, so this is going to slightly decrease people wanting to get this item in pub games, which I think is fine. There's some heroes that kind of really like Hand of Midas, like melee carries, for example, or even a hero like Faceless Void, and it is going to hurt him a moderate amount, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because the item is built a little bit too much right now. Ancestral Spirit. Vision reduced, so Elder Titan's getting nerfed. His damage is also reduced again, down to 60, scaling to 180. This used to be, I believe, 260 or 220 at level 1, or at the max level, so it's quite a bit nerfed. Plague Ward Night Vision reduced from 1200 to 800, which I think is balanced, because Plague Ward Vision was a little too high, especially at night, apparently. They had full vision at night, whereas like day vision is normally, I believe, 1800 if I'm not mistaken, and night vision for a hero is about 800 on average, so the Plague Wards are very far seen at night. Venomancer base movement speed is reduced by 5 because the hero is being banned and picked a lot. Power Cogs AoE being too big. Whirling Death not restoring HP after the debuff wears off. Oh, wow, that's a Timber Saw. I was trying to figure out what Whirling Death was. That means that Timber Saw was not behaving as intended. So it's the same thing that was happening with Undying in the past, actually. His decay would be actually stealing too much HP, or the debuff was also giving him too much strength. There was a lot of buffs with, or a lot of bugs with decay, actually. Necronomicon Night Vision is nerfed, so this makes the Necro 3 worse, which is great. Necro 3 and Midas are probably a little too good in this patch. And the gold bounties also increased for Necro, so now you give a 150 per unit instead of 100. So this basically punishes your team a bit more from doing push strats with just Necros, because if you get all the kills, that gold is going to add up really fast. Like killing a full Necro 3 set, that's equivalent to getting a hero kill. That's how much gold that is. That's a huge deal. And now nerfs the ever overpowered Ember Spirit, or Earth Spirit. I have a video that I'll probably upload. I don't know if I might record it today, but there's a video that or replay that I played, or a video on stream, I can't remember, but this Earth Spirit really showed. He was a really good Earth Spirit. He really showed how overpowered the hero is. So anyways, his Magnetic Grip cast range, that's his 3rd skill, is reduced by quite a bit. The silence duration is scaling now, which I think absolutely needed to happen because it was way too good at one point. 3.5 seconds to 5 seconds. His unit knockback range has rescaled. This is for when you punch an ally or a unit. This is now scaling based on the level. So basically just Boulder Smash is a lot worse if you just leave it at level 1 now. So you kind of have to make the decision, do I want more stuns or do I want more Boulder Smash? So that's it for now. And also one more thing, fixed Stone Remnant counting as a spell. So when you drop a stone, it would give you a magic wand charge, which is actually well, it countered Silencer, but it was actually good technically for your opponents because it would give them magic stick charges. So technically, I would say that's a buff, but it's very, very minor. Dueling units cannot be disarmed or force staffed away. I guess this is a buff. That's the dueling for the Legion Commander we just talked about. Visage movement speed is decreased by 5, slight nerf to that hero because the hero is still very popular. Crystal Maiden's base intelligence reduced by 2. This means 26 less mana at level 1. Apparently her base damage is the same, so they probably buffed her base damage by 2 to compensate for that. Slark is added to Captain's Mode, and Huskar is added to Captain's Mode. Other than that, we just have a lot of other stuff that isn't that important to talk about. So basically, I'll just talk about Slark and Huskar really quick. People have been asking me a lot about what I think about Slark and what I think about Huskar. I think Huskar won't make a splash into Captain's Mode, except for as a very situational pick, depending on what heroes that they're against. I don't see him getting picked up very early on in the drafting stage, because people will just adjust their picks based around it. And by adjust their picks, I mean they will pick lots of heroes that have stuns, and they will pick heroes that have pure damage or heroes that have burst physical. Because Huskar is honestly countered by a lot of heroes. He's countered by a hero like Obsidian Destroyer, who's hitting for like 100 to 150 pure damage per hit. His like magic resistance doesn't do anything against that. So another good example as a support is Bane. Bane can Fiend's Grip Huskar to prevent him from attacking, and then he can use Brain Sap, which does 300 pure damage at level 4. So you just get him low and then use pure damage. And I honestly, like, Huskar is not easy to play against, but he is counterable, especially by smart play. And you don't see this as much maybe in your average pubs, but even in higher levels at my skill level, he's not that hard to play against, because good players will know, okay, he's very low HP. That means my magic nukes are going to do very little. That way everybody just right-clicks him right there, because there's a good chance you can kill him, or people will build medallions. And yeah, there's some games where I get absolutely raffle stomped by Huskar, but it also comes down to picks. If our whole team just has magic nukes like a Zeus, then Huskar is a pain in the butt. But in Captain's Mode, you can draft around that a little bit more. So I'm not really expecting to see Huskar to be like, oh my god, overpowered. I really think he's going to be okay. As long as, like, he'll be useful as a situational last carry pick where your opponents go, crap, we only have magic damage. But if that's the case, then whatever. I guess they technically deserve to win the game. So, Slark, however, I'm not completely sold on the hero, but one of my teammates really loves Slark and thinks he's very overpowered. So, we could see a big splash from Slark in the game. Again, the most recent change is that he's basically guaranteed to be invisible for 4 seconds. I think it's 4. I think it's 4, and the cooldown went up massively from like 30 seconds to 60 seconds. So his ulti is better at making him good at trading, but I'm not entirely sold whether or not he'll be OP. I think he'll be played, but I'm not sure yet if he's going to be OP. So that's my opinions about the new hero, and that's the new patch. So go check it out. Again, dota2.com/wraithknight if you guys want to see it, or if you just go to dota2.com, it'll bring you to this screen, and then you can just click in. There you are. You're here. And you can see the other days. Oops. Oh god. English? Alright, I did it. You can look at these other little things and see the little cool days and things. So anyways, this is coming out tomorrow. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. It says, it's out here somewhere. It was like coming out February or December 12th. There it is. December 12th. That's tomorrow. So tomorrow this stuff is going to be out. Make sure you get ready to play with your friends. It's going to be a nice time, and thanks for watching. I'm going to upload or record some videos quick, and I'll get back to you guys. So I'll see you later. Bye.